So I recorded this in a dark room with my computer's brightness like all the way up, so I didn't realize how dark the video was until I watched it back on my phone. So when watching it, I would recommend having similar setting, um, dark room brightness all the way up for the best visibility levels. That was my bad. Hello, it's me, Mario. I just spent so many hours building this. Too many to not show it off some. So we're going to be looking at my Five Nights at Freddy's restaurant. This is based off the restaurant from the first game. But I did take some like creative liberties. You can see this outside design was based mainly off the movie building, or at least the building in the poster. With this also being vaguely based off that sign. I couldn't really get a whole like Freddy design with the little words and stuff, so I just built a giant Freddy. I did this completely from like scratch. So he looks a little wonky, but I feel like he could have been much worse. Honestly, I'm not too upset with how he came out. Just do a quick fly around. We have gravel parking lot that I did a chunk of by hand, and then I decided to try out the fill commands, which I ended up doing incorrectly the first time, and ended up replacing some of my flooring, and by some I mean like half my flooring, with gravel, which I had to correct. But this is the front entrance. It comes into what I believe is the west wing in the game. This was a choice I made because both these hallways are accessible to the public and the animatronics for some reason, which doesn't make much sense to me if there's nothing down there to make them need to be accessible. So I put the entrance in this hallway, and as we'll see later, I put the bathrooms in the other, just so it makes sense why this is so open. Here we have a lever on the ceiling, which is the cameras. So reset the cameras. You see there's one over there and there's one over there. Well, I tried to place them where I believe each camera location is in the game. There's just a big sign that says "This way to the party." This world is eternally night. There is no daylight cycle. It is stuck on nighttime, and there's very little light in here. I think they got rid of bad spawning and like peaceful creative, because I haven't seen a single bat. But let's start down in this direction and save the dining room for last, really. This is the parts and service. In the game, this is actually a storage closet, which I did not realize until after I had made it parts and service. I had actually remembered it incorrectly. So I put, or technically it's not parts and service, it's backstage. But I made a different backstage because I didn't realize that's what this was. I just thought it was parts and service. So I put this here. We have a couple animatronics here, including a Golden Freddy and a Spare Bonnie, some Spare Freddy heads, some Endos, and here I have all my heads. I will probably do a video just showing how to do that for those who do not know. It is very helpful. This is all vanilla. I don't have any mods installed. I am on a MacBook, but these are all vanilla heads in the vanilla base game, just using commands and stuff. So I will probably do something showing that off later. You can also just look it up in general. There's lots of videos about it. This is the main office. The monitors. I made the office first, so I just put a cake there because I didn't have a cupcake at the time. There. Oh yeah, just another detail is I put chains here so it looks like they are like hanging up on hooks. Kind of like how you'd hang up a fursuit in a way. These are heavy animatronic parts, so they need something to keep them up and in good condition. So this has working lights, which is miraculous. It took me way longer than it should have to get those to work. I am not a redstone genius by any means. The doors also work. I did not have the hindsight when I first created this world. I didn't really expect to go too like in depth. I know I wanted to make the pizzeria, but I didn't expect to go too in depth with the actual doors. So I did not make the world deep enough. If you were to do something like this, you should make the world deeper so the pistons can go underneath, so you can actually have this like be submerged and then raise up the way you need to. Because in order to walk through it, it has to be missing that middle block, which I opted for just for ease of access. But theoretically, what I originally had was gravel because it will fall down by itself. As fugly as it kind of looks, and as much as I hate it right now, and then do that. And I guess theoretically, because these are sticky pistons, you could put the gravel there just so it... Oh, never mind. I lied. But yeah, so I just use gravel and also concrete powder for the bottoms, so it falls down. But we have this here, because my world isn't deep enough. So I make your world deep enough if you plan to do that. I will be showing off the very shoddy redstone later, in case you wish to try and recreate it. I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend doing something better, but we do have lights, we do have doors. This would technically still keep something out, you would just be able to see it. We also have these cameras. Obviously I can't angle them quite right, so, but here we have the women's bathroom. I used a tripline hook for the like faucet. You have stairs for the sink. I didn't really think of anything that I could use for a mirror besides like maybe putting glass, but that just took up too much space. There was a handicap stall, as well as lots of single stalls. The gravel mistake came like up to here. It was awful, and it was like that down through this entire side of the building. So I had to replace all of that manually, and luckily it didn't damage the redstone too much. It just cut some of it off, but it was not fun. This is just a mirror of the girls' room. You have different doors because gender roles, and this is also a handicap stall. Let's go over here. We have an arcade. I'm not really sure where the arcade is in the main map. Oh, awkward. In the in-game map. We know there is one. We hear it. There's also one in the movie, although the movie is not to be, like, compared as, like, exact to the games. We hear, like, arcade noises and stuff. We just never see it. And it's not really... I don't think there's anywhere... Oh, awkward. On the map. But I added it here. I think this is technically where the bathrooms would be in the actual map. It's kind of hard to tell. This is skee ball. I wanted this to try and be like a hunting game. So I put this on the side, but I didn't really know how to simulate a gun being here. I guess theoretically we could do this, and then it looks like it's to hold a gun. I don't know where the gun is. Someone stole it. This is one of the few rooms with lighting. There used to be lights in more rooms, but then when I noticed bats weren't spawning, I took away most of the lights to keep with the spooky vibes. This is like a target practice shooting range. This is the prize counter, which used to have like a bunch of skulls and wither skulls and things like that. And then I remembered this idea from, I think it was someone recreating all the FNaF games in vanilla Minecraft, and he used heads from the website to do that, and I was like, oh, I should do that. I don't think I mentioned it anywhere, but I will be linking the website I used as well as all the heads that you see here in the video description, so you can find the website as well as the heads I use if you wish to use them yourself. And it's so worth it. It just brings such a, like, depth to the build. Like, it just would not be the same if these were just the same, like, skull and piglin heads and whatever. I have a bell as the claw machine claw, because I couldn't really figure anything out for that, really. And it just hangs from the ceiling. So that's that. And then we have some other cabinets with, you can't really read them because it's dark, but it just says 25 cents, and then there's like a little slot, and then claim tickets, and then there's also like a little slot. And each of these have those. This one is 50 cents though, because it's, you know, special. I was gonna have these ones be $1, but then the way I made the base, it's kind of irrelevant. Actually, I just realized there's there's no way to play this claw machine. Now there is. Alright, and then we have the main attraction, really. Actually, there's still a couple rooms, but they're behind it, so we're just gonna do the dining room first. This is a dining room, the main area with the stage and everything. When I was starting this build, or the furniture in this room, I was like, how am I gonna simulate party hats? Nothing in Minecraft looks like a party hat. And I was like, can I place stalactites on quartz? And I can, and I did, and it honestly is perfect. They're a little dull looking, but like, it's such a perfect shape. We have all these tables. Over here we have Pirate Cove. Ooh, oh my goodness. Pirate Cove with Foxy inside. He's holding a sheep horn because I didn't know how to get him not to hold it. I was testing it to see if it would look like kind of like a pirate's hook. And actually, let me do this. Is it Java only item? I mean, not Java, Bedrock? Is that Bedrock only? Ain't no way. Oh no. Spyglass. My bad. No. Stop. Stop that. Stop. There. That seems more fitting, at least. Now he has something piratey. It is out of order. Just like in the game. I've noticed in the game that there are like dashes between the sorry. So I incorporated that into all of the like signs that are regarding to like the workings. So like all these signs, they're just like the regular party signs, and like the bathroom signs are, you know, regular. I should put signs up by the actual office too, but signs like here, where it's like this has the dashes as well, because they are like important messages put out by the like establishment. So they are just differentiated by the dashes. And then of course we have the main band. We have Freddy, and he's holding a lever to be his microphone. We have Chica. I couldn't make her hold the cupcake. It would just put it on her. I tried like different ways to make it like kind of float. But then I decided to just put it up on top of the speaker like that one Puffle in the Club Penguin club. It was in the club. there's just a puffle on top of the speaker, and if you went inside the speaker, you would find a pool. Very bizarre if you don't know what I'm talking about. It just sounds insane. But we have the stage. I used mud bricks for it because the poster, the like one main poster, made it look kind of like bricky, but not like the red bricks. So I did that. And then we have Bonnie. For all of the like checkered walls, I just used this because there wasn't really a way to make those small checkered patterns. Okay, I kind of lied here. You actually can make smaller checkered patterns, and I realized this when I rewatched CuppaTeaExe's video. What you can do is find out the, like, dimensions of a Minecraft map, and then build the pattern on, like, land in reference to those dimensions, and then make a map. There'd be a little bit of calculating because maps aren't exact. You'd have to figure out the map chunk and figure out how to do dimensions based on that. But that is a way that you can get more complex and smaller patterns on in a build. You just put down an item frame and put copies of the map in the item frame, and you could do that to get the actual colors and sizing that is used in the game. I used to, on Pocket Edition, have a whole, like, Five Nights at Freddy's texture pack. It was very easy. I was on an Android, and it was very, very easy to just download a whole bunch of, like, packs and things. I'm also pretty sure I downloaded some form of virus. Actually, I don't think any of the Minecraft packs gave me viruses. I think the thing that gave me virus was a Minecraft-esque Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff game, and it gave me pop-up ads on my phone, like everywhere, like an Amazon Kindle or whatever. It just gave me pop-up ads on my phone. It was very bizarre. But then we have back here, which is the backstage, which should have been the parts and service, but I didn't remember that when I made this. This is just where the lighting control is. So these are monitors. I put a camera here because technically there is one. I just misremembered what's actually here. But this is like lighting control. So this is where all the lights and fancy things get controlled. I'll just put this here because it looks like a sound box. This is like the music and the lights for like special shows. Obviously they would probably have like recorded things that just play automated. Just automated shows, essentially, but they would also probably have special shows that would need a little more care and control put into them. So that's what this is. Over here we have the kitchen, which we have lots of different cooking things. I couldn't decide what I wanted. These are just, you know, the preparation stations. This is like the sink for the dishes. We have a drain. We have a bunch of blast furnaces because they just look more like an industrial, like, stove to me. We have these, like, brick stoves. And then we have, like, an actual, like, brick oven, pizza oven. Maybe they just served, like, different kinds of pizza that required different, like, cooking methods. Here we have the back door. There's some employee parking, and then over here is where the trash gets dumped, and we have Fazbear entertainment personnel only allowed back here. Trash cans, dumpster, yes. And roof access, but we're gonna save that for a little bit later because there is one more thing inside to look at. I low-key forgot about it for a split second because it's not technically accessible through the actual, like, anywhere. You have to break in to get there. I put a little Easter egg in this wall. Look in here. This is the sealed off emergency room. There's a word for it. I can't remember what it is, but there's like an actual name for it. Safe room. The like sealed off emergency safe room where Springtrap, or William Afton in Springtrap, died and sat until he was, you know, disturbed to become part of a horror house. So this is where he is. That's why he looks a little... he's kind of sleeping. He's sleeping, I swear. I wish I had, like... they technically made, like, packs. They did have some armor stand packs on the website that I, found the heads on. I just have to download stuff, and I didn't feel like going through all of that and trying to figure it out, especially since I'm on Mac. I feel like 90% of it probably wouldn't work very well on Mac. But he's in the floor. But it's fine. I just want him to be on the ground. I feel like if he was just standing there, it would be weird. So he's in the floor. I didn't put this many vines here. They are growing. I'm fine with it. It helps the vibes. I also used, like, gray in here to make it look dirty. There are some holes in the floor. It's an old room. They just sealed him in there, because that's a lawsuit, and what do we do with lawsuits here at Fazbear Entertainment? We seal them away. So, let's go over here, back to the roof to look at things. So, on the roof access, you go up, and, oh, awkward. I forgot to actually put the entrance down up here. That's kind of Akko Taco. Whee! So I built, essentially, which is the best way to do this, really, I built the entire restaurant first, and then built the shell of the building around it. So that way I knew I had everything I needed. It probably seems like common sense, but this is like the most in-depth build I've done in a long time. If not the most in-depth build I've done, period. But, see, these little things here are like where I put the lanterns in, because I didn't want them to be directly hanging down. I felt like they needed to be inset. And as you can see, there's a lot more of them here than you actually see throughout the restaurant, because I later decided to get rid of them all. Because it fits darker, it's like closed and dark, and they're trying to save on power. But, here is my janky-ass redstone system. So here is the top of the doors, the sticky pistons. And it goes down into the ground because they both connect to the same point. So the lever is like right here, I believe. And if you see, it goes down here. I can't go in there without like ruining shit, but it goes down in there and runs along the bottom doors. So that way the bottom and the top will come down and up at the same time. So it works like, you know, the door. It's not two separate motions. This is exactly the same on this side. Except I can actually go in this one. So you see, it runs along these sticky pistons, and this is the bottom of this. I'm looking at this, I'm wondering maybe I could have found a way to... Well, I might create a copy of the world and mess around with that, because I put these in here, which means I could put them on the layer of bedrock. I might make a new world just so I don't fuck up my redstone, but that could work. I tried it, it did not work. The only way to really get it is to double stack sticky pistons, like place sticky piston, the other sticky piston on top of that, and then the block. The only problem there is the redstone would get confused, and it would break. I'm sure that if you had enough space underneath, you could figure out a better redstone system that wouldn't confuse them and have them both work independently while still connecting to the same power source. I'm just not skilled enough, and I'm not going to mess with it anymore because I know I'm not skilled enough. But these are the lights. These, for some reason, were so hard for me to get to work. I don't know why. But we have the redstone, it goes over them. I had to use repeaters. I think that was the main issue I had, was my lines were too long. Repeaters, essentially what they do is, if you don't know, which you probably do and are probably cringing so hard at my redstone setup, they take a redstone feed and make it extend. They essentially extend it and make it repeat further. So I have a couple repeaters because I couldn't figure out, like, the issue. This goes under the floor to the button. You could see the slabs poking up because the floor would cut it off, which took me way too long to figure out when it wasn't working. But, and that's all the redstone here, really. There's nothing else. And there's nothing really that fancy. If you used command blocks, you could probably actually get the animatronics to move around some. I'm just not that skilled, and I'm not gonna try and do it and then mess things up. Like, I learned that lesson with the fill blocks. Oh my word, that was awful. It was so bad. I created a test world to figure out how to actually do it, and turns out the tutorial I was looking at on wikihow.com, shocker, was either not correct, it was looking at the wrong coordinates, or it just didn't specify what coordinates you were actually supposed to be looking at. It was just so bad. It was so bad. So there it is, my Freddy Fazbear's pizza. And I'm definitely gonna copy this world and see if I can fix my doors, because that would be nice. But let me know what you think of it in the comment section. I think it's very neat. I'm very happy with it. I'm very glad with how it came out. Even if it literally was awful to make. I mean, it was fun up until the point where I turned half the floor into gravel. But,